Sitting at home,
looking for my video games.
guess you could call us Video Bros.
Alright guys, welcome back to Vidya Bros.
And we bear very sad news here tonight.
Yes, it's been a very, very sad past week.
For those of you who already know, probably most of you already know by now, Satoru Iwata, the president of Nintendo, passed away July 11th, 2015. That was this past Saturday. You know what? I wasn't crying or anything at first. I was upset.
Me either.
I was upset about it. I hardly cry. But
I hardly cry either. Like, I only cry if something, like, in the family member died or something like that.
Same here. Like, last time that happened to me was January when my grandpa died. So, I wasn't crying or anything. I was really upset about it. Very upset, because, well, I'm gonna say this and get to it when I get to it. But when I kept seeing a bros of ours named Beto posting stuff nonstop in his MVC Amiibo group on Facebook, posts having to do with Iwata, and then I saw posts from a YouTuber named Gamnesia TV of remembering Satoru Iwata. He had the sad music playing from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, which is like the very sad piano music you hear 3 different times in the whole game. It especially, like, that video, I watched it, like, past 4 in the morning last night, and I was crying my eyes out. I wasn't expecting to. But, that game came out a few months, I don't know if I told you, Jeff, that game came out a few months before my grandma died.
Really?
Like, yeah, that game came out, like, towards the end of 2004. A few months before my grandma died. And the part in that game, sorry for spoiling this for people that have never played the game, especially you, Jeff, because we never played that on the channel yet, the Thousand Year Door. But, going into Chapter 5, you're going out to sea to get the 5th Crystal Star. This place called Keelhaul Key, an island swarmed by ghosts, and anyone that goes there to get the treasure deep in there never returns. Anyway, you need a sea navigator. This bomb named Admiral Bobbery, and he can lead you there. He's a very famous and renowned sailor. He refuses to go because his wife died at sea while he was out at sea because she was sick, and when he came back she was dead. That sad music plays when you have to give him a letter that she wrote on her deathbed in order to get him to go with you. That music's haunted me since childhood, and hearing that in that video made me cry within, like, maybe 2 minutes of watching it, and it's like a 14-plus minute video.
Oh, wow.
Because it reminds me of, oh yeah, it was around the time my grandma died, a few months before my grandma died. But also, it's just very fitting and sad. Like, I know in the video we're gonna not even put that music in, because someone already did that, despite that I love the game a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, but no matter what music we're gonna put in, it's gonna be sad music.
I'm thinking of putting in the audio from that post I tagged you in from Facebook, the Mother 3 love song.
Anything Mother Earthbound related would be good.
I know, because Iwata helped create the Earthbound series, the Mother series.
Kirby, Earthbound, Pokemon, Smash Brothers, pretty much most things Nintendo has done in the past decade or so, more than that.
What he did was he didn't actually help fully go on with the full game developments, but from the very beginning
he gave direction.
Well, from the very beginning, when Kirby came around, when Earthbound was going to be a game, that was his stuff. Then after that, after he became president, everyone else took off with that idea and kept it going in memory of Iwata.
And people, in the video description, there will be a link. I already posted it in the Facebook group, but I'm going to post it here again in case you don't have Facebook, for those of you who don't, that follow our channel. I'm going to be posting a link in the description to the page on change.org of signing a petition for them to make an amiibo of Iwata.
Yes, there's actually 2 petitions going around. There's one that
There's 2?
Yeah, there's
I didn't
one
see the other one.
You posted it on Facebook. There's one about how people want to immortalize Iwata Iwata in the new Zelda Wii U game.
Oh yeah, I signed that one too. I thought you meant there was 2 for amiibos of him.
No.
But no, I signed both of those, of course, being the Nintendo nerd I am.
If you guys can find it out there, there's 2 petitions going around. One for people to sign to get Iwata immobilized as an amiibo, and one to get him canon in the Wii U Zelda Wii U game whenever that feels like coming out.
So
because they've been working on that game since like E3 of 2012 when they first announced the Wii U or whatever.
So when I played that music from Mom this morning with that video to show her let her listen to how that music sounded, that when I was telling her what I just told you about Paper Mario Thousand Year Door with the music, because she knows about Satoru Iwata's passing. On the way to work this morning, after like not even a few seconds of playing that video, I started crying a lot. I was even crying a little bit while I was in work, like, in my department. To myself, though, like, the other person that was in there now that my friend Judy changed her hours, she had her headphones on, but I was still, like, trying not to cry and blowing my nose a lot.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say not to cry with that, but that would have been awkward during the middle of work.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is like, it'll be more awkward. It's like, why is he crying? I have no idea why he's crying. Like, they're not gonna, of course they're gonna be put off by it if they don't know why I'm crying.
Yeah, they were like, I don't know what to do. I can't help him. I'm sorry. I'm just standing here like, what the fuck to do? Like,
why also it really hurts me, other than that he helped shape billions of people's, trillions of people's childhoods.
There's only like a trillion people on the planet. Don't even...
Including me. And someone else said this in a post on that video in the comment section after I commented, when he posted it on Facebook, that guy Beto, when I said I couldn't stop crying watching it. That video, like, it's not even that, that's just jarring to it, but, like, why I'm so upset about Iwata's death, other than the fact that I'm a lifelong Nintendo nerd, is because, tell me if you feel this, and people in the comments, let me know your stories about growing up with Nintendo games and whatever, what you didn't grow up with, whatever, down in the comments below, because I'm sharing mine and Jeff's sharing his in this video. That's the point of this vlog. Other than
we're not gonna make this video too long, because I don't know how long my phone can last. I don't know how long my phone can last.
We're gonna make it at least between 10 and 20. We're not making it like a half hour long.
That's already 8 minutes already.
Alright, so not that bad then. So, this is what I feel. I feel like I just lost a very close childhood friend. That's what I feel right now. Like, I feel like I lost a very, very close friend. And other people were saying they felt like they lost their favorite uncle.
If he was my uncle, he would be pretty chill guy. He'd be like the best guy out there.
And people were like trolling that guy, Amnesia TV, in that video. Sorry, my eyes are tearing up a bit. They were trolling him and calling him someone called him I think a lowlife. No, they called him a degenerate, and someone else was like, I guess in your world, degenerate must mean something completely different from everyone else. Because... Wait,
he called Iwata a degenerate?
No, he called the person that was crying in the video a degenerate. Like, people were being assholes and, like, making fun of this guy in the comments, and other people were defending him of saying, shut the fuck up, like, Iwata was a great person. Someone actually had the audacity to say Iwata was a piece of shit, that especially for making the Wii and the Wii U. That because of that, he's a piece of shit.
Okay.
Alright, to anyone that thinks that, fuck off.
Okay, I have my input
Trolling
on that.
in the comments in this video is not going to be tolerated. I'm telling everyone right that. The trolls are probably snickering right now, but I'm letting you know, if you say anything to anyone in this comments section here, I'm going to report you and have everyone else report you too, and just remove your comment. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be an asshole. There's a difference between trashing a person and the work of that person, but not everyone seems to know the difference between those things these days.
Well, I'm gonna put my input on that.
Well, first, I'm gonna finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you have a different opinion from other people, fine. But don't be an asshole about it. This is what I said last week when some asshole was commenting on one of our videos, a troll calling me and Patrick fat faggots and like saying we're the worst critics on the planet.
Oh
like,
yeah, I remember.
If you don't agree with what people say about things and what they like, fine, but don't be a dick about it. Not everyone has to have the same opinion. It's important to respect other people's opinions. I
understand it's freedom of speech though, but you can't go around to like people's videos and just be like, ha ha ha, you're a fat fuck, ha ha ha.
No, of course not.
No, but I'm saying, but like how you said, or you can't, you know what you can't do, and you told me how Pie Guy Rule did a video, and then some guy just kept commenting on his video saying, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
That was his most recent video of the I Date a Bad Boy. He was saying, like, some person replied to everyone, someone named Ike Jeffrey. He commented saying to me, shut up, and said to everyone else, shut up, and he had that person's comments all removed and reported him.
Disclaimer, Ike Jeffrey, not me.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because I know that we're getting off topic here, but Ike Jeffrey, it's Ike space, and then Jeffrey, same exact way your name Jeffrey is spelled.
Yeah.
And that's what it made me think of, but I'm like, wait, Jeff's not an asshole, and also he doesn't have an account named like Jeffrey.
No, but let's go on with this. I'm going to put my input on this. What you said about the troll that said that he wanted a piece of shit for making the Wii and Wii U. Mm-hmm. I will put this out there. Not trying to trash him in any way, but he has...
There were certain things he did that I didn't agree with, but I never hated him.
Exactly, but what I do disagree... I do agree with him 1% on that whole statement that he's a piece of shit. I do agree with him 1% out of 100.
That's pretty fucked up for you to say.
No, that's very low, though. That's very low. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going 100% on that. That's 1%.
And you know what? There are actually people that made like a petition to try and get. I don't know if any of you knew about this series, Metroid Prime. Like, if you probably do know about it. For those of you who don't, great series. Definitely play them. Yes. The last game that came out of that series was late 2007, like the summer 2007.
Actually, the new one that's coming out.
And there's a new one coming out after like 8 years of that series being completely inactive, like just on the back burner. And it looks nothing like the other games. It's like a completely different game, and people actually hated the trailer of it for E3 enough to put up a petition to ban that game.
Well, I can tell you right now, the reason why that game wasn't the way it was because of the fact that when Metroid first came out, like the Metroid series, not the Metroid Prime series, when Metroid first came out, it was like, I don't remember, but it was in the middle of the Metroid games. He had the idea to make a game like that for one of the consoles, and since the hardware and the software wasn't there, he couldn't put it together, so it wouldn't work out. But the weird thing is, though, that what I do hate about Iwata and his did you shut off your camera?
Yeah.
Okay. But what Iwata did, though, that I did hate was the fact that he's more like the market share for video games is going more toward PC and consoles, not handheld games. Handheld games are going down like very badly. Like no one's really buying handheld games anymore. But Nintendo and Iwata keep pushing games to go toward the 3DS instead of the Wii U.
So I was almost gonna cry there. After just remembering that piano music from Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, but
it's okay. Like, we're all here for you. It's like we're all here for you.
Thank you. What upsets me especially is people were making me think like Iwata definitely like what are the chances that when he was dying, his last thoughts in his head were, did I disappoint people? Like the last few decisions that Nintendo made. He never like, sure, he disappointed people during his whole entire career at Nintendo, because I'm gonna say it again, he did some things that weren't right. He fixed them, and he's still not doing things that were right in a sense, though, because Nintendo's not up to where they used to be in terms of a gaming company. Like PS4 and Sony and Xbox are gaining popularity way more than Nintendo ever will be. But the thing is, what I do like about Iwata, if it wasn't for him or the company or whoever is in charge of getting the people or getting the company RetroWare Studios,
there would not be a place for other companies to look at their work and then start making other games that are based off of that stuff.
You mean Retro Studios?
Retro Studios, yeah. I'm thinking Retroware as...
Rare. I know you're probably thinking of Rare, which used to be known as Rareware.
But the company that made the Metroid Prime series and the Donkey Kong series...
Retro Studios.
And the people that made Conquer and Bad Fur Day.
Rare.
Not Conquer, yeah, that was Rare, but that was also for... But if it wasn't for them gaining popularity on Nintendo with Iwata supporting them, there would not be games like the new ukulele game that's coming out that's based off of Banjo and Kazooie, and there wouldn't be that I don't remember the name. Don't quote me on the name, but you saw it in the trailer at E3. Microsoft, how they partnered up with the guy that made the Metroid Prime series, and they're making a game for the Xbox One now.
I'm excited for that game. Recore, that's what it's going to be called. I'm excited for that. I love all their games they've made. Retro Studios are great. What was I was going to say, though, is like, Iwata, the guy said in his video that I mentioned before, and I agree, Iwata held gamers and gaming close to his heart, always, and he cared about what people wanted. And you know what that I learned from that guy's videos? And I didn't know this, but it makes complete sense that someone was this generous to do this and dedicated. But the second generation Pokemon games, you know how they have a second half where you go to Kanto and get all the other 8 badges? And Gold and Silver, after you complete the Johto League, you go to Kanto and you get other 8 more badges from the first gen games, and you fight the same gym leaders.
So basically, there was no reason technically to even if you grew up in that time era when you were a kid, there was no reason to buy Red and Blue then if you had Gold and Silver.
If you think about it, if you want to split hairs on that, fine. But you know who was responsible for that decision and add a second half of the game?
Iwata.
He thought for the people. He's like, no. He thought about it. He had an idea, and it worked. People loved that there was a second half of the game. It added a lot more stuff to do, more hours of gameplay, and more badges to get, more challenges because there's a lot tougher trainers in Kanto. The people spoke on a ridiculously high level. He helped, as I said, people basically, I remember when I used to watch Game Grumps, Aaron mentioned in the video of the Super Mario Sunshine series, he mentioned that Iwata is bigger than a fucking rock star, and that he made games based off his life growing up as a child. Legend of Zelda
pretty cool.
Was because he loved to go out adventuring and stuff when he was a kid. Pikmin, he was into gardening. Pokemon, he liked collecting things, I guess. Kirby, well, that's a whole nother story. But, all those things are based off of some parts of, his childhood. And
that guy must have, an imagination level higher than anyone else out there.
And you know what? I saw someone in the comments say, in that video of, a point why Nintendo is a great company. Alright. A lot of people will always go back to playing Nintendo consoles because they're worth remembering. People always come back to Nintendo consoles. Every year, let me put this clearly. Every year, I always replay Paper Mario and Metroid Prime, every at least 2 years. To regain my love for the game. It's like you're renewing wedding vows. Someone said, in 30, maybe more than that, years, do you really think people are going to be still playing Assassin's Creed games or Call of Duty or stuff like that? And I'm gonna say this once, and I'm not gonna say it again. Whether you like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, or any games for modern consoles today, or you don't like them, are you really willing to bet people are going to be playing those games 30 years from now? Or do you think they're still going to be playing Nintendo games?
Honestly, I can agree with that and say I would be playing Nintendo games more than I would be playing
They're more replayable.
Yes, sure, they got their own twist and their own thing going on for the new generation, which is fine.
I can see my nephews playing Earthbound when I'm 40. I can definitely see them
like,
doing something like that.
Yeah, like, there are games out there, for me, like, if I'm bored or whatever, like, I have the modern console, sure, but I'm the kind of person that doesn't tend to beat video games as much as I would like to, because I'm, like, going back and forth between video games, because there's so many out there, but I always see myself going to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the retro game. I'm gonna go back to, like, Nintendo to see what I got on there. Like, I have the Retron 5, I can play all that old shit, I have, like, Super Mario. I always go back to Super Mario Bros. 3, my all-time favorite
Me
Nintendo
too,
game.
That's my favorite of the 3 Mario games on NES. I mean, don't get me wrong, the first one, there's nothing wrong with it. But the third one took what made the first one great and multiplied it a billion times over and made it as awesome as it is. It's still fun to play today, especially with another person. Especially if you just want to be an asshole to them while you're competing against each other. Like in the Mario Brothers arcade game parts of the game where you just like flip over the Koopa shells or whatever and just make them kill the other person. Like,
oh yeah, I remember that shit.
Doing that. So like me and brother would let's like get each other mad by doing that.
Yeah, but like you said before, like there's nothing wrong with the first Mario game. Like they went from the first Mario game completely revolutionized everything that was about video games, because what the idea of the whole game was to give you a new experience. Like the first level of the game taught you how to play the game, and you knew how to play the rest of the Mario series ever since.
And you know what? Someone with the username Sonic the Hedgehog commented on the video and was like crying at the beginning of the video, "Sheesh, play PlayStation or Xbox." And people got pissed at this guy, and they were saying something like, "Sonic, you've been dead since after the 2D generation of games." And they were saying that the Sonic Adventure games suck. I disagreed and said
I disagree with that.
I said I do like the Sonic Adventure games, but I was agreeing with what the other stuff that person was saying.
Oh yeah, but I do know what he's saying though. Like, not to put it off though, but they're like the 2D Sonic games. Nothing can beat them. But when you go into 3D, like any game that goes from 2D to 3D, it changes their aspect and it doesn't click on as well as the retro 2D game.
And people, you know what? If you're just thinking, yeah, this fat kid is a Nintendo nerd, well, you're half right. I play games from multiple companies and consoles, old and new. I love, keep in mind, I love to death the Mass Effect series, Gears of War, and horror games that are on modern consoles, like The Evil Within, for example. But the chances of me replaying a retro game more than those games is like 99.99% to 1. Like, I would.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love Mass Effect. Don't get me wrong. Games like that, there's nothing wrong with. But my favorite side more has always been towards Nintendo. They just have magic to their games. If it wasn't for Nintendo, we wouldn't have some of the greatest. Like, Nintendo on their own right make great, amazing games. But if it wasn't for them, some people, they how they like mod video games and shit like that? If it wasn't for them, they wouldn't have the idea, the regular consumers wouldn't have the idea to build upon those games, to release hacks and mods of different games and stuff, and make them 20 times better than they were. So I give it off to Iwata for making the ideas, making great games so people can build on them and share their experiences with everyone else. And so he was the heart and soul. Nintendo is not going to be the same without that heart and soul. And also, also my childhood, in case anyone's wondering, recently I played through and beat Earthbound and Mother 1. After this video, I'm going to get that English hack from Jeff and play through Mother 3 so I can enjoy that game. I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. I owned an NES, a Sega Master, Sega Genesis, Atari 2600, and other consoles. I didn't own a Super Nintendo as a child, so I didn't get to play through Earthbound, and I regret that because that's one of the best masterpieces Iwata was even involved in developing. Like, especially the music in the game. Even if the music wasn't Iwata, it was like Shigesato Itoi or whoever the music creator of the game is, a composer. Well, it's still, it's something Iwata was involved in by the end of the day. like that he was involved in that work. Like for Earthbound,
yeah.
Kirby, Pokemon, Smash Brothers. He worked with Masahiro Sakurai, who's the main guy behind those games.
Well, Sakurai actually has the title as being the video game developer for Nintendo, not like Iwata did help, but it was not like he had the greatest impact of the game. Miyamoto was the best guy out there for all the games.
I did play Super Mario World a bunch when I was a kid, but only because my neighbors that I lived near on my block had it. Like, I would play it with them when I was over at the house. So I did grow up a tiny bit with Super Nintendo, but not as much as I should have. So share share your childhood with Nintendo and the games and consoles you grew up playing, didn't grow up playing. Like, share yours, since I gave mine.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say though, like, as I remember, which was a stupid idea when I was a child, but you know how I was a child. You know how video games like just grow on you and you want to get the best thing out there. Yeah, my very first console I ever had to play, which my dad owned, was an Atari. But the very console that I actually owned myself and my mom bought me was not a Super Nintendo, an original NES and Nintendo Entertainment System. And that, like, there's some games on there that I used to play so much, but I cannot remember for the life of me what they were, and I wish I could go back to them and just play them all over again as I can rekindle my childhood. Like, Iwata...
Thank you.
Well, actually,
Iwata,
no.
Thank you.
What happened? Yeah, thank you. Because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have all the great stuff out there. Like, there was a movie I actually watched on Netflix called Video Game. Was that the one
with the indie game developers?
No, it was a different one. It was talking about the entire history of video games and what it amounted to in terms of how it impacted social lives and stuff like that. They were saying like Iwata is part of that whole entire thing. If it wasn't for Iwata and Nintendo, people wouldn't be
I wouldn't be who I am, and also why another reason I'm upset about like his death. I know I'm gonna. All right. Well, let me put it this way. You know I'm autistic. I'm what now is being classified currently as the autism spectrum disorder rather than Asperger's. As an autistic child, I would cope with my disabilities by playing video games a lot. So Iwata was a huge influence on my life because of having played stuff he had to do with making. Like, I was playing his work. That's how I coped with my disability. Like, he was there for me. Why? Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, so, in closing, put what you're about to say. Alright, so I'm going to try to not cry myself to sleep. Playing Mother 3 right now after this video, people. So leave your comments down below and let us know what you think about this video. What do you think about Iwata's death? And your childhoods growing up playing his games and consoles, and what games you missed out on, or games you just grew up loving to death. Whatever, you tell us your stories in the comments.
Hey guys, if you like what you saw in that video, please check out our latest series, To the Left. I hope you enjoy it. Also, if you want more hilarious videos, please check out our other series down below. I'm sure you will enjoy that as well. And last but not least, please hit that subscribe button. The more subscribers we get, the more content we can provide. Thank you,